Okay, we're going to make a standard Clouser minnow. We're going to actually measure the hook in 3 pieces, and we're going to attach tying thread at the first 1/3 section of the hook. Make a little bump there. What the bump is for is to keep the eye, the set of lead eyes, in place as we're working on them. These are the lead eyes. We're going to position them on the side of the hook first, like that, and then we're going to cross wrap over the lead eyes and over the hook shank, one direction, maybe 5 to 6 turns. I don't ever tell you just make 6 turns. I say whatever you want from 4 to 6 is good. Then we're going to push it up on the top of the hook and cross wrap from the opposite direction that we cross wrap by putting it on. And I'm going to help turn them so the cross wraps really keep them tight across the hook. Now we're going to cross wrap the other way. Don't need many that way, but here we still will straighten this hook up a couple more cross wraps. There we go. Now we're going to go under the eyes and over the hook shank like you would do something with a helicopter wrap. This tightens that whole wrapping system, squeezes that bundle together. Then we're going to come in front of the eyes and spiral wrap this to the rear of the eye of the hook. And what this does, guys, is prevents the materials that you're going to tie on from sliding back and forth on the hook shank. Our starting point there before we put anything on the hook is the tying thread directly in front of the eyes. I'm going to, this is a hard thing to show anybody, pull this clump up from the deer tail. And then put your scissors down at the butt, push down and cut at the same time. Now we're going to straighten this hair out. I'll show you something here. Squeeze at the top 2/3 section of the hair and pull all of the loose hairs out of the bundle. Then take 1 or 2 this way. If you can really see in here that a lot of longer hairs are now inside the bundle and the short ones are surrounding it. What we got to do now is take this and squeeze this thing into an oval. First I'm going to show you how we're going to measure this. This hook is 1 length. 2 1/4 lengths are probably all you need out of here, so you have about, there's 2 hook lengths of hair on the hook and 1/4 out the back. And we're going to squeeze this in an oval and cut it off. There's the oval. We're going to lay it on the hook. I'm going to pull this out so you can see a little bit more. Lay it on the hook so the bottom part of the oval is touching the top of the hook shank, like that. Then we're going to surround this with we call it a placing wrap, where you place the hair with the tying thread, pull up, tighten it down, and then just wrap it a couple more light turns. Pull up again, tighten it, and just keep coming forward. Wrap 1 turn in front of the other, coming forward towards the eye of the hook. when you let go, that hair will stick straight up like this. Now we have to bind it down in the rear of the eyes, and we're going to pull it back and have a space between the material and the hook shank itself. And we're going to come back and round and surround this behind the eye and pull straight up and allow the tying thread to pull the fibers down. Like that right there, while you're holding the rear of the hackles up. Now we're going to spiral wrap this back to the 2/3 position. Spiral wrap forward. And if you look closely, you'll see that their hair is not around the whole hook. It's tied on top of the hook shank, which allows this tail section, if you want to call it the tail, it's actually the belly, to flare long ways up and down and like a knife blade on the bottom. Now we're going to go forward under the eyes, wrap right around the eye of the hook, maybe 2-3 times. Turn this thing upside down. And we're going to lay flash in. You can use gold flashes, rainbow type flashes. Sometimes I just, whatever, put it in. Even silver or pearl works good in a fly. We're going to fold this over the tying thread. Grasp both pieces, lift it up to the top, and don't wind it around like that. You'll get it all around the hook. Just pull forward and this will slide down. Now you can go over the hook shank and wrap yourself backwards. Now right about there is where your back of the head's going to be. We're going to part the flash with the hook point, come back and there's your length of the belly, and we're going to cut this a 1/2 inch at the most longer than the hair itself. Now we're going to set the back on the fly. Now we're going to do the same thing here. Come back to about the 2/3 length of that bundle and pull all the short hairs you can out of that thing. We're going to measure the length. It's just about as long as the green. You don't want it over length. Make it as long as, or even a little shorter is fine. Squeeze this bundle into an oval. Cut it off. I'll pull it forward so we can see it a little further. Drop it down on a tilt where the bottom of the oval is just a little bit forward of the tying thread. I'm going to show you what not to do. Don't wind this on like that. You're pushing all the fibers to the far side of the hook. Come around this thing lightly and lift straight up and pull straight up. It'll pull that bundle down, wrap forward, one turn in front of the other. Till you get her snugged in there, and then just form your head, just back and forth. And it takes a couple layers to form a head. Now we're going to whip finish the head. got the tying thread. Examine the fly. Now you can see the method that we used here actually has another name called high tying. And what high tying means is you can spread the fibers wide and keep the size of the fly looking like a knife blade is what you're striving for. Now, as far as covering, you can mix 30-minute epoxy, coat the eyes and the head with that, put it on a turning wheel and let it dry, or you can take something that's called Solderez. Apply it to the thread wraps, where the thread wraps are. Hit it with a blue light. Really shines that head up. Now we're going to take and turn this the other opposite way and do the other side. And there's the finished fly.